Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Ignite Kids Does Sunday. I wonder, what's our story about this week? Can you remember what we talked about last week? Well, grab your packs and let's have some fun. Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ignite Kids Does Sunday. Now, today's story is a continuation from last week. Can you remember last week's? Can you remember? Joseph was sent to Egypt. So this week we're thinking about Joseph again, but it's a little bit different. Joseph has got himself into a little bit of bother again. We've got Reds versus Blues as usual. I'm winning. My goodness, I'm winning 15 points to Blues and 14 points to Reds. But will it change this morning? You'll have to tune in a little bit later to find out. We've got our craft a little bit later on as well. But first, we're going to have our song. So let's have a bit of a wiggle. Let's get ourselves all limbered up. Here we go. Ready? Here's the song.
Knobbly knees, a squidgy tongue, hairy toes and a wiggly bum, but Jesus says to me, oh, I love ya. I might have spiky hair, a dimply chin, pointy ears and a cheeky grin, but Jesus says to me, oh, I love ya. Cause he made me in a special way according to his plan, and Jesus looks inside my heart at who I really am. So I've got clapping hands and arms to raise, dancing feet for all my days, cause Jesus says to me, oh, I love ya. Cause he made me in a special way according to his plan, and Jesus looks inside my heart at who I really am. I might have knobbly knees, a squidgy tongue, hairy toes and a wiggly bum, but Jesus says to me, oh, I love ya. I might have spiky hair, a dimply chin, pointy ears and a cheeky grin, but Jesus says to me, oh, I love ya. Cause he made me in a special way according to his plan, and Jesus looks inside my heart at who I really am. So I've got clapping hands and arms to raise, dancing feet for all my days, cause Jesus says to me, oh, he loves ya. Cause he made me in a special way according to his plan, and Jesus looks inside my heart at who I really am. I might have knobbly knees, a squidgy tongue, hairy toes and a wiggly bum, but Jesus says to me, I love ya.
Hey, don't you know?
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ignite Kids News. Over the past few weeks, we've been thinking about a guy called Joseph. Well, this week, he's in Egypt, and there's some really strange goings on. With all of this fast-breaking news story, we're now going to go over to Trev, our roving reporter, with more information about what's going on. Over to you, Trev.
Well, thanks, Jen. Here I am standing by the pyramids. I've just come from the palace where I've been speaking with the royal butler, who was in prison just a short time ago with Joseph. Now, Joseph had come as a slave, as we know, from Canaan, where his brothers had sold him for money, but he ended up in prison for something he did not do. Now, in prison, he met with the butler and with the baker, who both had dreams which troubled them. And Joseph, as I understand, interpreted their dreams correctly. As a result of that, the butler, who'd been put in prison by the king, has been reinstated. Joseph said, remember me when you see the king. But unfortunately, for some time, the butler completely forgot about how Joseph had interpreted his dreams until the king had a very troublesome dream. And as I understand from the butler, the king was dreaming about 7 fat cows that came out of the River Nile, and then 7 skinny cows came out and ate them. A very weird dream. And then 7 big fat sheaves of corn came out of the river, and 7 skinny sheaves of corn came out, and the fat corn was devoured by the skinny corn. Strange dreams. Well, of course, the king didn't understand this, but thought there was a message. And then the butler remembered Joseph in prison. He said, Joseph can tell you dreams. So Joseph was summoned by the king, and Joseph interpreted the king's dream, which meant there'd be 7 years of plenty of crops and 7 years of famine. And because of that, Joseph was then made prime minister and has been in charge of the grain crops during all the bumper years and now during the years of famine. And I think we're in for a good time with this new prime minister. And with that, back to the studio.
Right, Trev, well, that was a very, very exciting happening, you know, from prison to prime minister, like overnight. So what is the, you know, the feeling in Egypt at the minute?
Well, some people have mixed views, because here's this guy who actually is not an Egyptian. He came into the country as a slave, essentially, and he's risen to this amazing position of prime minister of our country without an election. And some people think there's something going on behind the scenes here.
It does sound very, very strange, doesn't it? But obviously, God has put Joseph in this position for a reason. Now, is it true? I heard that some visitors have come from Israel to Joseph. Can you enlighten us a little bit more on that?
Yes, certainly. Well, from what I'm hearing, it's Joseph's own family, on hearing of his elevation to a position of prime minister, knowing that there's famine in their land. They couldn't get any food in their own country, so they came down, hoping they could buy some food in Egypt. And so they came, but then on discovering that Joseph was their brother, was now the prime minister, they were horrified at first, thinking they might be punished for what they had done to him previously in years gone by. But Joseph recognized them, forgave them, and invited the whole family to come down here to Egypt to live.
Oh, so this is quite a happy ending then for Joseph.
It is. They obviously have to go through the normal immigration process and fill in the necessary papers to have permission to stay in Egypt. But they have promised they will learn the language. They have promised to fit in. And so it's a happy ending, I think.
Wow. So does this include Joseph's father?
Joseph's father is very old, but he's made the journey as well. Sadly, Joseph's mother is not, because she died quite some years ago when his younger brother was born.
Wow, so, you know, this is an amazing story. So, boys and girls, today's news for you, all about Joseph going from prisoner to prime minister, all because God wanted to help him and his family. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, good morning everybody. It's now time for Reds versus Blues. And I can't believe it, but I'm actually in the lead for the first time in weeks and weeks and weeks. So red team and blue team, we've got another cap game for you. Now, on your pack, it talks about blowing a cap from a cup into a cup. Do you know what? We've given up on that one completely because we haven't got any big cups to put our cups in. So we can't do it. If you want to have a go, all you need to do is get a big glass, put your cap inside it and blow it into another glass the same size. It is possible, but unfortunately, like I said, we don't have any glasses. Now, what we've decided to do instead, we're going to do a new version of flip a cap. So it's flip a cap into a bucket. Now, the bucket is a little way away from the table. Okay, we've got 25 caps, and the person with the most caps in the buckets win. That's it. All right, so Here we go, flip a cup into a bucket. Okay, Trev.
Right.
This is it.
Flipping cups again.
Flipping cups again. Ready?
Ready?
Steady, go.
Right. It's the buckets.
I think you might have won, but I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
So you know what that means, don't you?
15 all.
15 all. Have a go. Flip a cup into a bucket and see if you can do better than us. See you next week.
Bye.
Okay, good morning everybody. It's now time for our craft. And if you remember, in today's story, there were some really fat cows that were eaten by some really skinny cows. And so today's craft is a cow. So you'll need a paper plate, you'll need some glue or some sellotape, some felt pens and some paper cut into different shapes. So let's make a start and I'll show you the different shapes I've made. So I've made some black blobs here out of paper and just coloured them in. I've made a snout. I've made some horns. There they are. I've made some big eyes. And I've made some ears. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by gluing the different bits on. So I'm going to start off by gluing the big blobs on. All right, so I'm going to put some glue on my plate. Like that. Okay, and then here goes the first blob on one side. And then I'm gonna, that's a big bit of glue. I'm gonna glue on the blob on the other side because it's a spotted cow. Okay, now I'm gonna do the snout. So the snout goes in the middle. And the eyes. Now, as you can see, I've already pre-prepared all of mine, so yours will take a little bit longer than mine. I lost one of my eyes. There you go. That goes there. Now, at the minute, it just looks like a dog, to be honest with you, I think. All right, it just looks like a dog, but it will look a bit more cow-like once we put the other bits on. Okay, so we need one of his ears. I think I've made him a bit small actually. And another ear. And one horn. And the other horn. Oh, there's my cow. I don't think I've done a very good job of this cow, to be honest with you, but I'm sure you can do a better job than I can. Maybe you could draw your blobs on the cow, or whatever way you want to do it. But there you go, a paper plate cow, and have a go, see if you can do a better job than mine. Mine looks more like a dog, but yeah. Have a look in your packs and it'll show you what it should look like. It shouldn't look like that, boys and girls. Have a go and we'll see you next week. Bye. Okay, everybody, that's nearly it for us for this week. Oh, I lost again, Blues. Never mind, we're still only neck and neck. It's now 15 to Reds and 15 to Blues. Have a go at the Blues, Reds versus Blues game, and maybe you can do better than I did. Today's story, all about God looking after Joseph and his family, but they had to trust in him, didn't they? What have you got to trust in God for today? Now, next Friday is our last Ignite Extra of this term. So, mums and dads, if you would like to book your child on, here is the Eventbrite link. And here is the Eventbrite QR code for anybody that would like to use their smartphones to scan. Now, the event closes at 5:30 on Friday. So, if you are not booked in, you are not able to come. We have 15 spaces. So the first 15 people that are booked in will be allowed to come. Right, so let's finish with our wiggly hands prayer drill. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Lord God, we thank you for all the fun that we've had this morning. We thank you for the story of Joseph and how you looked after him and his family. I pray that you'd look after all the boys and girls and all of the mums and dads and anybody else that's watching. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Ignite Life Group, you're on again tonight at 6 o'clock, and it's our last one of the term. So make sure you're there at 6 o'clock tonight. We'll see you then. The rest of us will see you next week. Bye.